Right now, a city-imposed deadline to move from a homeless encampment on the east side has come and gone, but not everyone is leaving.
Plus, an update from Milwaukee's Children's Hospital as one of the youngest Waukesha Christmas parade victims returns home. News 3 Now at 10 starts now.
But first, breaking news tonight, a silver alert just issued for a missing Dane County man. A 93-year-old Cyril Jandry was last seen leaving his home in Stoughton. He left around 1 o'clock this afternoon to look for a Christmas tree. His vehicle, a 2018 red Ford Escape, was later seen in Verona. If you know about his whereabouts, please contact police.
Next at 10, the time has come. Madison golf courses have officially closed for the season.
The city announced the closures of the Glenway, Monona, Odana Hills and Yahara Hills courses this afternoon. Just another sign winter is almost here. Another sign, the cold and snow today, a light dusting this afternoon, but temperatures will be rebounding soon. Let's get a look at our certified most accurate forecast now to see if any more snow is on the way. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Well, as temperatures warm up over the next couple of days, we will see a couple of chances for snow, one Thursday and then the other Friday night into Saturday morning. Time lapse from the WISC Skycam showed cloudy skies today, and every once in a while you can see those little bursts of snow showers and flurries move on through, but for the most part it's just cloudy. Doppler track right now shows some light snow showers and flurries across southern Wisconsin, but not all of that is reaching the ground. In fact, if you take a look at pinpoint visibilities, all the major reporting stations reporting visibilities at or above 10 miles, which is the maximum amount, so we're not seeing much snow falling from the clouds. But temperatures are on the cold side. Actually, it's as warm as it's been all day. We're at 21 right now in Madison. Temperatures still in the teens to the north of town. Wind chills are right around 10 degrees, give or take a couple of degrees either direction. And those temperatures will hold nearly steady overnight, upper teens to lower 20s. Tomorrow, we're back to sunshine and high temperatures back to around 30 degrees. But again, there'll be a couple of chances for snow this week before we turn milder for next week. I'll have more in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Despite the cold weather, a handful of people are still living at the homeless encampment at Rindall Park, even though yesterday was the deadline to close the site.
City says anyone who has been living in the park has been offered housing and keeps working with those still in the park. Brad Hamilton joins us with what's next for those who haven't cleared out. Brad?
Well, in less than 48 hours, the city will remove all belongings from the park, but for those that continue to live there, it's a cold waiting game. Braving the frigid temps here in Madison are a short-term issue for many. But for William Rice, it's a constant and brutal reminder of being one of the few remaining tenants of Rindall Park.
It's rough staying out here. It's rough.
William's hope is to be placed in one of the city's sponsored shelters. According to officials, 27 people have been moved into the newly built Dairy Drive shelter, and only 3 spots remain, while 34 people have been moved into hotels, and there are still a few spots open. But the waiting game has taken its toll on William.
I put it like this: everybody has left me. Nobody stuck by, they found housing and they left.
Today, park workers began tagging personal items at Rindall. By Thursday, all tents, structures, and personal items will be removed, all of which is concerning to activist Pearl Foster, who says she won't leave Rindall Park until every person remaining receives shelter.
There's certain barriers to getting into those places, if that's not having an ID or having a record or already being kicked out of the shelter. There's a lot of reasons why people are still here. I don't know about people staying here, and I worry about people's health, but I also worry more about them being isolated.
But for now, it's a cold waiting game for those that remain at Rindall Park.
If there's housing, I will go. But other than that, I'm staying right here.
A city official says they have been moving folks to the shelter and will continue to do so. And then when they are able, they will start that cleanup process.
Brad Hamilton. Brad, thank you. And with the temperatures dropping, now is a great time to download our First Warn weather app. It is free, and it is available now for download in your app store. 2 more children who were injured at the Waukesha Christmas parade have been released from the hospital.
In a statement today, Children's Wisconsin says the children left the hospital last Thursday and will continue their recovery at home. A hospital spokesperson says 3 children remain there. All of them are said to be in fair conditions. One of the youngest victims from the parade is now home. 8-year-old Olivia Olivia Stover spent 12 days in the hospital with brain and ankle injuries. She had been performing in the parade with her extreme dance team with her mom right along her side when they were both hit. Olivia's parents, Jennifer and Nick, say she doesn't remember much about what happened, but when she woke up, she was in the hospital suffering from severe injuries.
She has 2 bleeds to her brain and swelling on her brain. She's got a broken big toe.
Yep, in 2 places.
And a severely sprained ankle. We've come across some angels out there that have definitely been holding her up high.
After dozens of consultations, MRIs, and 12 days spent in the hospital, she finally got to go home last Thursday. And while she's still got a long road to recovery ahead, Olivia says she's just happy to be home and hopes to start dancing again soon.
Happening right now, the Madison Common Council discussing the use of body cameras for the city's police department. It is item 104 on the agenda tonight. They'll be discussing the potential implementation of a body-worn camera pilot program. Currently, the Madison PD does not use those cameras. The Rock County Medical Examiner today releasing the name of a man who died after a fire at a Beloit pool hall over the weekend. They say he is 69-year-old Sherman Van Antwerp. The fire happened Sunday at the Karam Room. The cause of both the fire and Van Antwerp's death remain under investigation.
Also in Rock County, the Sheriff's Office says it has cited 13 businesses after they say staff sold alcohol to underage buyers. During the county's alcohol compliance check, underage adults supervised by deputies enter a business and try to purchase alcohol. The checks were conducted at 19 businesses and only 6 passed. New information tonight about that condo building in Waukesha that was suddenly evacuated last week. Residents will never be able to live there again. A contractor says the cost to repair the Horizon West condominiums far outweighs the building's worth. Structural engineers discovered hidden, rusting building supports last week. After seeing the deteriorating conditions up close, they urgently warned the 6-story building could collapse at any time.
No vacancy. That's what some healthcare leaders from across the state are saying 2 years into the pandemic now as COVID patients crowd hospitals. During a virtual roundtable today, Eric Conley, president of Milwaukee's only Level 1 trauma center, expressed concern. Froedtert Hospital has hit capacity, and most of its COVID patients have a common thread.
Unfortunately, the vast majority of our COVID-19 admissions are patients that are unvaccinated and could have prevented their need for care if they had taken action during this pandemic, earlier during this pandemic.
Well, the only other Level 1 trauma center in the state is here in Madison, at UW Hospital. Chief Quality Officer Dr. Jeff Pothoff says he's seeing a similar trend when it comes to their ICU beds.
So we're really full. During the pandemic, we would have times where we were full. It might be a few hours. We could get people to fit. Now it's not all COVID patients, it's other patients, but there's times where many hours go by before the right ICU bed opens up, which leaves these other hospitals who are trying to transfer patients to big hospitals like UW or Froedtert or even Northwestern or the Mayo Clinic in a bit of a lurch as they wait for a bed to open up.
Next at 10, an aging population in Wisconsin also means an aging prison population. Caring for older prisoners will take a higher priority starting next year in the shape of a brand new facility in Oregon. The 65 short and long-term beds at the Assisted Needs Facility has been years in the making, with funding first approved under the Walker administration. It's been in planning since at least 2017. It includes 15 beds for short-term care and 50 beds for long-term assisted living. The whole thing has a cost of about $7 million and is designed to complement other parts of the DOC health system. Up in Antigo today, Governor Tony Evers says $14 million in federal grants are going to support the state's movie theaters, summer camps, and minor league sports teams. The money is part of a $140 million investment in the tourism and entertainment industry, funded by the American Rescue Plan Act. $10 million will be devoted to the Movie Theater Assistance Grant Program. $1.8 million will go to 37 summer camps to help with pandemic-related losses. And the minor league sports teams grant program will give $2.8 million to more than 15 minor league teams across Wisconsin, including the Madison Mallards and Forward Madison FC.
A federal judge today setting a trial date for former Trump advisor Steve Bannon. It'll begin July 18th of next year. The case stems from his refusal to obey a subpoena by the House committee investigating the January 6th riots. Bannon, who has pleaded not guilty, had wanted the trial to start in October, while prosecutors had asked asked for an April trial date. President Biden held a high-stakes video call with Russian President Vladimir Putin this morning. Natalie Brand at the White House with details about what the two discussed, including how the U.S. could potentially respond if Russia invades Ukraine.
Good to see you again.
President Biden spent around 2 hours talking with Russian President Vladimir Putin. The White House says he made his position clear.
President Biden was direct and straightforward with President Putin, as he always is. He reiterated America's support for Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity.
U.S. intelligence has warned of a possible Russian invasion of Ukraine as soon as January, with 90,000 Russian troops gathered at the border, a move Russia also took in 2014 prior to invading Ukraine's Crimean Peninsula.
President Biden looked President Putin in the eye and told him today that things we did not do in 2014, we are prepared to do now.
The White House says President Biden made clear that the U.S. and allies would respond with strong economic and other measures if there's military escalation. The president has also been in contact with European allies to talk about a coordinated approach.
We have made clear to Moscow that we will respond resolutely, including with a range of what we have called high-impact economic measures that we've refrained from using in the past.
The U.S. says it will continue to supply support to Ukraine's military as well as NATO allies in Eastern Europe. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said both leaders agreed that their teams would continue to have conversations. And still ahead tonight to look at your updated forecast and when temperatures will start to turn around.
But first, on this 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, a look at some of the remembrance ceremonies across the country next.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, take 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames.
On my travels across the country, I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen. So let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance and protect yourself from things like fire, theft, or in this case, water damage. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance at geico.com.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
I recommend Gruber Law Offices to everybody. And I mean everybody.
I would strongly encourage all my friends and family to call them.
I definitely have recommended Gruber Law Offices to my friends.
I've recommended it to everybody I know.
My experience with Gruber was really great, and I would recommend it to anyone who needs to see an attorney.
One call, that's all.
The Bruce Company is ready for Christmas, and we've got some rules to help you celebrate the season. Be merry. Wisconsin-grown trees and greens, lights and ornaments will make your holiday dreams come true. No peeking. Candles, potpourri, German collectibles, and holiday plants make great gifts for everyone on your list. Honor tradition. Meet Santa's reindeer on Sunday, December 12th from noon until 2. Whatever your rules, celebrate the holidays with the Bruce Company, your holiday experts.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Schedule an eye exam before your vision benefits or FSA funds expire.
Tomorrow, our Call for Action Week continues with some advice on booking home improvement work.
And Josh Sprider's at a local recreational trail. He's going to show you how one artist's work is inspiring positivity.
Plus, we are gearing you up for a possible storm system by the weekend. That's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Historic levels of inflation have been hitting you hard for months, but now finally some good news. Energy prices are coming down, including gasoline and natural gas. AAA is reporting the national average price for regular unleaded fell to $3.35 a gallon today. That's a 7-week low. Several employees tell us that at least 12 video game testers at Madison's largest video game studio have been laid off in the past week.
The employees are contractors who work on Call of Duty at Raven Studios, which is owned by Activision. We spoke with several employees who confirmed the accounts of those layoffs and say more may be coming. They've been told by management it has nothing to do with performance and is part of a consolidation effort. Several of them moved to Madison for the job, one of which moved here just in the last week and holds a leadership role, says he and others are devastated.
So I actually just moved last week, so this comes as a bit of a devastating bit of information, I suppose. I am one of the most experienced testers there, and I was taking on a lot of very specific work.
Now, yesterday, the Cap Times reported 45 workers participated in a walkout, which is the third recent Activision work stoppage, according to reporting from the Washington Post. Employees say the layoffs highlight ongoing complaints about worker conditions for quality assurance testers in the industry.
The pandemic has reportedly widened the wealth gap between the rich and the poor. Today, the World Inequality Lab published a report that says global billionaires last year saw the biggest jump in wealth since 1995, when the group started keeping track. At the same time, however, the World Bank says the pandemic pushed about 100 million people into extreme poverty. Flags around the state and country today lowered to half staff for Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day. 80 years ago today, the unprovoked attack in Hawaii killed more than 2,400 service members and civilians. The President and First Lady visited the World War II Memorial this morning.
They laid a wreath there, which included one wild sunflower, the state flower of Kansas, in honor of the late Senator Bob Dole. The First Lady laid a bouquet at the New Jersey pillar in honor of her father, Donald Jacobs, who served in the Navy during World War II. And in Hawaii, a somber ceremony, and John Dickerson was there.
At a solemn memorial commemorating 80 years since Pearl Harbor,
ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please bow your heads.
Those who survived gathered at the site of the attack to honor those lost.
Sailors, Marines, soldiers, and civilians. Many of those civilians were Hawaiian Americans caught in the fury of the attack throughout the island.
On December 7, 1941, Japanese planes carried out a surprise aerial assault on U.S. military bases on Oahu, killing nearly 2,400 service members and civilians. Most of the deaths took place on the USS Arizona, which split in two and sank with more than 900 sailors on board.
The unprovoked attack at Pearl Harbor plunged our country into World War II, the most devastating conflict in history.
At the Intrepid Sea, Air, and Space Museum in New York City, families of survivors laid a wreath in memory of the fallen. Navy Seaman Second Class Charles Saunders died on board the USS Oklahoma that day. He was finally laid to rest after his remains were identified through advanced DNA testing. For the survivors who returned to Hawaii, December 7th is a day they will never forget. John Dickerson, CBS News, Hawaii.
And former USS Arizona crew member and survivor Harvey Milhorn is expected to be interred on the sunken battleship. He passed away in 2002 at the age of 80.
And Chief Meteorologist Gary Canaldi is here with our certified most accurate forecast.
A little bit of activity now going on in meteorology. We've got some things to talk about in the weather rather than just kind of blah and mild weather. 3 things you need to know in the forecast. Tomorrow will be chilly, just not as cold as today. We've gone through our cold spell now. Temperatures will be back around 30 on Wednesday and probably in the upper 30s to around 40 for Thursday and Friday. But we will see some light snow Thursday. Should not amount to very much. If there are accumulations, they'll be mainly north of Madison and should be pretty light. The better chances for snow will be Friday night into Saturday morning. That bears some watching because there'll be a stronger storm system. There could be the potential for higher snow accumulations. There also could be the potential that the storm mainly stays in the form of rain and we see little in the way of snow. It just depends on the exact path of of the storm, and then mild weather will return for next week. So even if we get snow accumulations Friday night and Saturday, I think by the middle of next week it'll be gone, because by Wednesday we could be seeing record warm temperatures in the lower 50s for highs. Tonight, Doppler track shows some snow flurries across southern Wisconsin, but surface reports indicate not much of that is reaching the ground. Visibilities are at or above 10 miles, so should not amount to anything really. Visibilities right now in the northern part of the state down a little bit, and there have been a couple of inches of snow from around Black River Falls up into central Wisconsin, but again, here in southern Wisconsin, just flurries for the most part after the light snow today. This is future track snowfall through early Friday morning, so this is the snow that will fall on Thursday, and again, most of the snow accumulation, if there is any, will be north of Madison, probably around an inch or so. Where it gets a little more interesting is we head into Friday. So first, tomorrow we see the skies clear out on future track. We get temperatures back to around 30. Thursday, here comes the next system. You can see the snow coming in, a little mix of rain and snow on the southern part of this as it moves on through. It'll be a little more prevalent to the north and east of us. That's where maybe if there's a couple of inches of snow, it'll be up toward the Green Bay area. Then we take a break for Thursday night. On Friday, the skies stay cloudy. Here comes the next weather system, and you can see by noon, rain on the southern part of the storm, mix in the middle, and then snow to the north. Now we go to the longer range future track computer models, and you can see by 8 p.m. on Friday, mainly rain across southern Wisconsin, a mix up toward the Dells, and then mainly snow north of there. But again, this is going to be highly dependent on temperatures. By early on Saturday morning, everything changes over to snow as colder air moves in on the backside of the storm. But by that time, the main part of the storm is pulling away. And by Saturday afternoon, we're into sunshine. So snowfall amounts right now probably favoring central Wisconsin for several inches of snow. Southern Wisconsin, maybe a couple of inches. But again, this could shift north or south depending on the exact path of the storm and the temperatures at the time we get the snow. Tomorrow, no snow at all. Partly sunny, high temperature at 30. And then, again, light snow Thursday, mixed with rain in the afternoon. Friday, rain showers in the afternoon, changing to snow Friday night into Saturday morning. Saturday, it ends. We stay cold for Saturday, but look at those temperatures. Back up into the 40s to around 50 or even a little bit above by the middle of next week, with mainly rain showers on Wednesday and Thursday.
And coming up in sports, it was a battle of unbeatens in Big 8 play. How Middleton hung on for a win over in Madison East. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready. And the only place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Get the Ford SUV that's perfect for your family's holiday traditions. Ford Explorer, Escape, or Bronco Sport with our best offers of the season. Inventory is arriving daily, so see your Ford dealer today and get holiday ready. Now get a Ford Edge with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Back again at Ho Chunk Gaming Madison with another big winner.
We're here with Pete, who just won $50,000 on Progressive Slots. How did you do it, Pete?
Well, first off, you get your rewards club card. You put that in the slots, the slot of your choice, of course. Now there I am. I'm seeing that machine. It's looking at me. We're vibing, and
it's vibing.
It's
okay.
vibing with me, and then I start pressing buttons. Mash those buttons, as many buttons as you can press.
Buttons. There you have it, folks. Advice from a winner.
Well, I guess it's all about the buttons.
Who knew?
Ho Chunk Gaming Madison.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. To help you take walks again. To ease your pain. To rebuild your strength. And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care. We care about you. You.
You. They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics. Listening, healing, caring. It's in our nature.
I'm Rebecca, and you might know me from reality TV. And this was my stubborn body fat that I just couldn't get rid of. But then I went to Sono Bello, and they permanently removed my body fat in just one visit.
It is so intensely gratifying for one visit to make this big of a change. It's amazing.
Sono
Bello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, hips and thighs, back, and so much more.
It feels incredible to look down and it's flat.
Thank you again, Sono Bello. I'm so happy.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-800-595-1532 or go to sonobello.com.
What is all this?
We call them options.
Options? Don't make me laugh.
Unbeatable selection without the drama. 2 pair plus a free eye exam as low as $59.95.
A Maui Invitational Championship, a win at Georgia Tech, and an I-94 bragging rights thanks to a win over Marquette on Saturday. Badger men's basketball has some good wins earlier in their schedule, but tomorrow the real season begins. Wisconsin tips off Big Ten play against Indiana at the Kohl Center, and like every year, league play is going to be brutal night in and night out. But thanks to a strong start, this group feels like they're ready to make some noise in the conference.
This year we had a high major slate of non-conference games. I think that's really going to help, especially with this young group of guys. Kind of get a feel, not necessarily exactly what the Big Ten's going to be like, but I'm pretty excited to jump right into Big Ten season.
Like it's teams like Houston, St. Mary's, they're good, solid teams, really fundamental. So I think getting those dubs against those big teams, I think that boosted our confidence going into Big Ten play.
Big 8 boys basketball, Middleton and Madison East both undefeated in conference play. Cardinals got off to a good start in this one. Easton Zempel dials one up from deep, and Middleton goes up 5 after that triple. Now East would battle back. Clavon Easton Jr., only a freshman, doesn't play like one. The 3-ball puts the Pergolders up 1, but the Cardinals were too much. Logan Raffle, that move's just dirty. All 3 of those as Middleton goes on to win 64-59 the final. Wisconsin volleyball is back in the Sweet 16 again, but the only issue is that their game against UCLA is at 4 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. People have jobs, kids have school, but Dr. Kelly Sheffield has a solution to get you to the field house in form of a doctor's note.
People need a doctor's note from me, fine. I was an amazing C+ student growing up there, and so I didn't even go for the doctor's notes. I just not show up in it, and look at me today.
And for the first time all season, the Badger women's hockey team left the ice with a loss. Wisconsin fell to Minnesota on Friday, and then the 2 tied on Saturday. Not the results Mark Johnson and company wanted, especially in the border battle, but there is good news. The season isn't over. They can learn from this, and they play the Gophers again.
One game doesn't define your team, and it doesn't define your season, and so I used to take every loss as kind of a big hit to us, but now I'm understanding, okay, we have an opportunity to learn from it.
There's definitely a little bit of a sting there, just because Minnesota, we always hate to lose, but there's also a great level of respect between us and them, and so we just got to focus on the next game.
And we're back after this.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
What better time to remodel your bathroom than when it's cold and wintry out? Menards has all the bathroom vanities and tops to transform your bathroom. We have vanities and tops from trusted brands like Tuscany, Magic Woods, and Dakota. Want a custom vanity top? No problem. Riverstone Quartz has many stunning options. With savings this good, you won't want to miss our vanity sales event. Come into Menards today and get a beautiful new vanity.
This year, don't just get ready, get holiday ready. And the only place to start is at your local Ford dealer. Get the Ford SUV that's perfect for your family's holiday traditions. Ford Explorer, Escape, or Bronco Sport with our best offers of the season. Inventory is arriving daily, so see your Ford dealer today and get holiday ready. Now get a Ford Edge with 0% financing for 60 months, plus $1,500 bonus cash. Only at your local Ford dealer.
Celebrate.
One of our biggest sales of the year ends soon. The Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Get huge savings on already low prices, up to 50% off. Plus, see what's new, what's in stock, and save 25% on our great accessories. Give your home that special touch. Huge store-wide savings at the Thanksgiving sale at Slumberland Furniture. Hurry and soon. And for better sleep, come to Slumberland Sleep Solutions and see how easy it is now to shop for a mattress.
The holidays are doubly important this year, so make your celebrations doubly special with our award-winning cave-aged Maurice cheese. Pick and save. Hey, you're right, we can't stop now. Let's take the special up a level with fresh, never frozen prime beef. Still not special enough? Add some surf to that turf with our sustainably caught seafood. Turn your taste buds up to 11 and have a doubly special holiday with Pick and Save. Fresh for everyone.
I was in excellent hands with Gruber Law Offices.
At the end of the whole process, you felt like part of the family.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They are the best law office in the state of Wisconsin.
Customers call for action against a local fence builder Thursday morning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, if delivering presents to all the world's 2 billion children isn't hard enough, Santa decided to take a new risk, feeding sharks. Accompanied by an elf, the two plunged into a huge fish tank in Malta's National Aquarium in Cora to hand out treats to sharks and fish, but only those who had been well behaved throughout the year. Father Christmas didn't hand out any presents, though. The aquarium fish will just have to wait until Christmas Day like everyone else.
This is kind of, we had this from Germany 2 days ago on the 5, I think. And it's like, what is this, Santa? These fish don't care about Santa. Yeah.
Yes. We need the sharks with laser beams.
No, but we care, right? Well, Santa's looking for snow. There's some on the radar, but not a lot of that is reaching the ground. Visibility is right now at or above 10 miles. Temperatures are cold. They're right around 20 degrees, give or take a degree or two. Wind chills are not too bad, mainly around 10 degrees. So it'll be another cold night tonight, but not as cold as last night.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.